I have not paid a lick of attention to the concerns, the criticisms, and the pointless bitching of fictional mermaid character being black or white. I get that some of you might care, but me, I don't. Because at the end of the day, whether if the bitch is black or white, I'm from New Orleans. We gonna cook her because she's a fish anyway, and it's a mermaid. Mermaid's not really real. You can talk about representation of redheads all you want, and all I can really tell you is an entity that holds billions of dollars, maybe even trillion, is not gonna care, and they're just gonna make whatever they want. However, it is funny, at least to me, that we've shifted from complaining about not having enough black representation to, for some reason, slavery being the topic of discussion, because the Little Mermaid is being criticized. Why? Because of the erasure of slavery. Now, I could bore you by reading this entire article, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste your time. Instead, I'm just going to sit here, look you in the eyes, and say, who in their right mind, in any capacity, is thinking about slavery in a fictional movie about a girl turning into a human from being a mermaid and deciding she wants some dick? I'm sorry, but I'm not worried about slavery at that point. I'm supposed to be going to the movies to see something magical, spectacular, to get away from the real world and real world problems. But for some reason, somebody out there, whether it be on TikTok, whether somebody made some opinionated piece, decided we know what was missing from this iconic movie that's supposed to teach the young black males and females about how much it sucks being black and how they should always remember their history. Slavery in regards to a fish. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not thinking about that. I'm not worried about that. I want to just sit and enjoy a movie, but I can't because I live in a world where people overly fixate on the most pointless shit in the most pointless of areas. Nobody can craft an argument strong enough that is warranted for slavery being a topic in a movie called The Little Mermaid. We have historical figures you could base a movie off of. Sitting here and doing it for a mermaid make no fucking sense.
I'm not even trying to be funny. Where was slavery going to be mentioned in the fictional story of The Little Mermaid? It's not real. It's fiction. It's a fairy tale. Were we going to see someone drop overboard? Fall to the bottom of the ocean, possibly? Bury me in the sea with my ancestors and the mermaids? Like, what do y'all want?
I didn't think I was going to talk about that whole, historian slavery article regarding Little Mermaid again. But you have major trades like Deadline running with the story now in this whole, there's a reason why it's not making that much money internationally and why the box office is underestimating. Literally, this tweet was my reaction. I did not think major trades were going to tap on this, but of course they will. Why? Because they love to feed into the mess. Also, the lack of acknowledgement for the anti-blackness that is tied into why it's not performing well overseas is just, see, this is why there's such a gap with journalism and entertainment writers in the industry that are people of color. And of course, the blogs are going to pick it up. Y'all want a live action adaptation about mermaids to discuss slavery? Really? Did you expect, Sebastian to sing a plantation song? I mean, so for real right now. Did you want him to find something else under the sea? For the love of God, if you do not want to see this movie because a black woman is the lead, just say it.
Apparently, whoever it was that spearheaded this idea of we need to start sharing information about slavery in a fictional fish movie went on Twitter saying, 2 days ago, I wrote a tweet about The Little Mermaid, which went viral, 12 million views. I have deleted it because it was wildly misunderstood, a short thread. I understand and appreciate the arguments that The Little Mermaid is just fantasy, a fairy tale, and escapism. Fantasies are powerful vehicles for children to understand understand the world around them, which is precisely why we must take care in how we as adults tell them. Disney chose to set this fantasy remake in what looks like 18th century Caribbean, yet that time was the time of horrific slavery. Far from wanting The Little Mermaid to have slaves in it, I believe the creators should have taken one of two options. Option one, to pick a totally different setting free of historical baggage related to black people. Option two, keep it in the 18th century Caribbean but avoid erasure of black history, for instance, by setting it in Haiti, which had already thrown off the shackles of slavery. The sad reality is this great film left me concerned that Disney did not take it seriously, this very sensitive time and place, which due to the atrocities that happened there should be treated very carefully, especially for impressionable children. I would just like to step in and say, your impressionable child is not worried about that. They are trying to figure out the song of Dynamite. That song is garbage. I don't care. You can fight me. Any little girl that wants to have an issue with it, The Little Mermaid sucks. For the record, I like the film. There's a lot of positive elements, one of them being the casting and normalizing of black beauty. But that does not mean I don't think there aren't flaws that could have been addressed better. It is my job to think these things through. Finally, while I applaud the on-screen diversity as a person working in media diversity, I think it's important to look at the diversity behind the camera. In recent years, Disney has been able to tackle some very sensitive racial and cultural issues with lightness of touch. We see the lightness of touch in Turning Red and in Encanto. The diversity of the creators behind both films in key editorial roles stands out positively. This does not appear to be the case for The Little Mermaid. This is why in all my work with broadcasters and beyond, I argue that diversity behind the camera is just as important as diversity in front of the camera. We need both. If you want to read blah, 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 my mans, none of which you talking about holds strong, because once again, it's a movie about a mermaid trying to navigate through life and somehow growing legs and having to fight some big fat octopus bitch that everybody want to have sex with because we some all horny motherfuckers. Slavery is not on the topic. Diversity is, because you change the redhead to some brunette blonde black woman, which I don't really care. Diversity, equity, inclusion, y'all got that. That's y'all fight. I ain't really got a stake in the game. All I can really say is I don't really have an issue with diversity. More people seeing themselves in cinema, TV, video games, perfectly fine. The execution needs to be immaculate as well. Otherwise, we gonna have people like this wanting everybody to know, hey, did you know there's slavery afoot in this Caribbean area of the fictional world of Atlantis or Bimfuck 2, wherever the fuck this movie takes place? Because once again, I have to point out, Little Mermaid, regardless if it's black or white, garbage movie. Everybody should go watch The Lion King. But that's all I really got to say for this. Subscribe to the channel. I will see y'all in the next one. Go watch The Lion King, Meet the Robinsons, Cars, Big Hero 6. All these movies are better than The Little Mermaid. Goodbye.